Oh, you want me to just talk?
Hi, Chris.
Oh.
You're here in Mexico City after 20 years. You wrestled here. How was your experience?
Mexico was the first place that I came where I was ever a really big star. I came here in 1993, and I started in Monterrey, and then I moved to the big company here in Mexico City, CMLL, working at Arena Mexico. And it was a great experience for me. I learned a lot from some of the greatest luchadors ever, Negro Casas, Bestia Salvaje, Atlantis, El Dandy, Silva King, Tejano, Emilio Charles, so many great guys that taught me about the psychology, psicológico of wrestling. And I loved it. I lived here basically straight through for 2 years, and I left in 95, and it's one of my favorite times of my life was working here and learning here.
And who is your favorite luchador?
Probably Negro Casas. He's the best. A great performer because of his mind. He was very smart. People sometimes think that lucha libre is always flying and flips and high spots and combinations, as we called them. There's that, but there's some of the greatest guys had a really smart ideas for the business, and I learned a lot from Negro Casas. And also El Dandy was a partner of mine. We were tag team champions. He was a great worker and a great performer too. And those guys always helped me out as well because I was a foreigner, and there was only a handful of foreigners here. So we stuck together. But when you go to the locker rooms, it was the Mexican guys that really kind of helped me connect the dots and learn how to get around and how to get from city to city and town to town. Dr. Wagner Jr. was another one that helped me out a lot of just how to survive in Mexico.
Okay. Which is your favorite move from the lucha libre that you learned here?
This is where I learned the lion salt, actually, was here in Arena Mexico. A friend of mine had the idea, and I remember going into the ring in Arena Mexico. It was an empty, it's a very big arena, and it was empty because it was during the day. And I took a bag of dirty clothes and stuck it in the middle of the ring and tried it a couple times to see where I would land. So this is where I invented and learned the lion salt, was in an empty Arena Mexico in the ring at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Did you go to visit Mexico today? How did you saw the city?
It's funny because when we got to the hotel last night, I noticed that it was on Reforma, which is a street in Mexico City. And the place where I lived was called Hotel Plaza Madrid, which was on Reforma and Insurgentes. La esquina de Reforma el Insurgentes. That's what I used to tell the taxi drivers. And so I asked them where Insurgentes was, and they said it was literally 2 minutes away from the hotel. So I kind of got lost, walked around, and eventually found the Plaza Madrid, where I haven't been in 21 years.
Wow.
And walking in there was exactly the same. The lobby has a restaurant in it, and to go there and see the restaurant, and remember it was the first place I ever met Eddie Guerrero, Love Machine, Art Bar, Mike Lazansky, Tigre Canadiense, and King Haku lived there, and Black Magic, Norman Smiley, and Miguel Perez, and the Headhunters, and Hector Guerrero. So many guys lived there, and it was kind of the place where we all met up to go do stuff. And just to go back there, and I even went upstairs. I took the elevator up onto one of the floors just to look around and see all the floors and stuff. It was just really cool to be back there, and a little bit surreal. It was like being in a time machine and going back in time to see this place from another lifetime ago. It was. I'm really glad I did it. I went and had lunch there, and just kind of. I texted Vicky Guerrero and Haku and Conan and all the guys that would know this hotel and that it was a part of their lives. Chavito Guerrero. So it was really cool.
Some fans are asking, what did you have to eat today?
I had a cocktail de frutas. I had ensalada mixta con pechuga de pollo plancha, which is what I always used to have. Pechuga de pollo plancha. And I used to have with a Papa Horno. I didn't get one of those today. I still remember huevos revueltos con zucaritas. I used to have it for breakfast. Con un manzana. It's like all this stuff comes back to you when you go there. And I forget Spanish, but when I lived here, I was really good at it. I probably knew I don't know, 70%. I was learning the slang. I was learning the female, male, differences, how you speak. And then you leave and you forget because you don't practice. So just coming back here, just ordering lunch in Spanish was pretty cool. Like, la cuenta por favor. ¿Quieres propina? Stuff like that. Right? Una café negro, por favor. Just stuff like that.
And for today's match, what are the fans going to see? What they can
I've been
expect?
back to Mexico quite a few times with WWE, and I love working here. I think the last couple times I've been here has been as a technico. Now I'm a rudo, so I'll have some fun, maybe speaking Spanish. I'll butcher Spanish, and we'll have a good time. The Mexican crowds are great crowds. They understand the show business part of what we do, and it's always a pleasure to come back to Mexico, and especially Mexico DF. I really do feel like it's a home for me. It's not like my home, but I always come back and feel very comfortable here. The same way when I go to Tokyo. I spent so much time in Mexico City and in Tokyo. Whenever I go to those places, it feels like I know where I am. I know how to get around, and it's very, very special day for me today.
Will you bring the list today?
I will bring the list, yes. I might even put Mexico City on the list. Or maybe not, I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. We'll have to see how mean they are to me.
And can you say something in Spanish to our fans?
Sí,
before they see you in the ring?
Siempre yo gusto México DF. Yo tengo mucho historia aquí, mucho experiencias aquí. Yo nunca olvidar Mexicanos. Yo tengo mucho amigos y amigas aquí. La gente en México siempre muy bien, muy agradable. Is that a word? Does that mean
Yes.
agreeable or nice?
Like, nice.
Yeah, nice. So, muchas gracias to toda gente aquí en México and toda gente aficionados aquí. Esta noche con WWE, Corazón de León regresa a México DF hoy.